We'll create a report, but surprise, surprise, the report is based on a query. All reports are basically based on queries. You can create reports, but predominantly reports are printouts of the query results. Yeah. So why have I split these requirements to two areas, the yellow and the blue area? The yellow area will be included in the query, but not exclusively. I will explain to you in a bit why. And this will be coded in the report itself. So basically in the exam, when you see calculate totals in the report bit, the totals cannot be calculated in the query. They have to be coded and coded in the report itself. So please be mindful of this. Yeah, calculate the total of something means that you're going to do this in the report. You're going to code this in the report, whereas this implies that a query is needed. Now, why did I say not exclusively the yellow area, not exclusively, but maybe the blue area as well for the query? Now, what happens is, we know that we will build a query, but you have to look throughout the specifications for which fields you're going to use in the query. For instance, it says here total number of cleanups. Here, up on the yellow area, which appears to be for the query design that we're going to use for the report, there is no mention of total number of cleanups. So for the requirements of the query, you will have to include this field. Yeah, you will have to include this field in the query. Even though some parts will be coded like these ones in the report, you have to design the query based on the whole specification here of the report. So if you miss this, the total number of cleanups, you don't make a field in the report for it. If you don't include that field in your query, you will have issues after. Okay, so let's get on with the query. Yeah, first of all, let's see the yellow bit and then read the overall requirements. Let's get our database and start by creating a query in design view. There you have it. So now we want all the tables as usual. Now we want to untangle these and put them a bit lower so that we know which ones we're going to use. It says create a report that is grouped by year. So the year is in this table here. Let's expand this so that it will reveal everything. A year is here, review years here. So we know that we need to select that one. For the beaches, that. So we know that the beaches is involved. Have at least 150 kilograms of rubbish collected. That is here. Yeah. The cleanliness rating is here. So that we've selected that table already. So we carry on. For each year, the year is here. The beach name, there we go. The district name, so this table is involved as well. And the review details. The details, it means all of these details. We'll discuss this in a bit. And if we work, despite having these highlighted as blue for being coded or encoded in the report itself and not in the query, we have to go through it to see which fields do we still need. So we still need the total weight of rubbish, that is here, and the total number of cleanups, that is here. Let's start. Create a report that is grouped by year. So let's start designing the query. Create a report that is grouped by year, review year. Yeah, we double clicked on that and shows each of the yearly reviews for the beaches that have at least 150 kilos of rubbish collected. So the beach name is involved here. Have at least 150 kilograms of rubbish collected. We'll come back to the criteria. At the moment we are just selecting the field needed. 150 kilos collected. So that's the rubbish collected kilograms, and cleanliness rating of 2 or 3. For each here display the beach name, there we have it, the district name, and the review details. So basically these are review details here. We've got 2 of the review details. We need the others as well, but it seems that this should be next to beach, so we can highlight it as we know, like as if we're deleting, yeah, that vertical arrow like that. So we find it and we click and we grab and we move next to beach. So now district name is there. So we have the district name and the review details. We've got 2 review details. We've got that one and that one. We need that one as well, and we need as well these 2. The review year is there. The beach ID, we've got the name, and the district ID, we've got the district name. So we should be happy with just the names because it doesn't specify exactly which details. We can see as well, we forgot when we left this down, we forgot to delete it. Yeah, the volunteers are not included, so we just delete that table. We know all the fields that are going to be involved. We need now to go back here and see what exactly criteria we need for each field. For the beaches that have at least 150 kilograms of rubbish collected. In the criteria row here, you see where the criteria is. What criteria are we going to put? Greater or equal to 150. Don't be tempted to say greater than 149, because that may include this, for instance, 149.5 kilos decimals. Yeah. Now we have to say greater or equal to 150. For those of you that understand a little bit the maths of this, you will understand what I'm saying. Now that is done. And cleanliness rating of 2 or 3. It says and cleanliness rating. If you see and, for and, you put the criteria on the same, let's say on the same row. On the cleanliness we say 2 or 3. So we have to separate the words. But if you take away this like that, it may not understand. So we need to space them out, 2 or 3. That means show rubbish collected for beaches that are at least 150, and so we put the criteria in the same row. These are things that you have to learn, so you don't go and say and here. It will pick it up as a mistake anyway. So the and, when you see and, is done like that. If it said or 2 or 3 and not and, or a cleanliness rating of 2 or 3, you would have put that here and not here, so that it coincides with the or. So let's put it back where it's supposed to be with the and. So let's move on. For each year, display the beach name, which is here, it's displayed, the district name, yeah, and the review details. The district name and the review details for each year, these 2, and then the review details, which are these. All of them have to be displayed. Yeah. If we go to the run this, if we run this query, we get the rubbish collected that is over 150 kilos. See what we had here, over 150 kilos, and that as well have a rating of 2 or 3. In this case, any beach that had rubbish that weighed over 150 kilos had a rating of 2. It's a coincidence, yeah? And this is just showing the number of cleanups per year. If we move on to calculate and display the total weight of rubbish, yeah, and the total number of cleanups, as I told you before, when you see calculate totals of something, whenever you see that, that has to be coded inside the report itself. So remember, calculating of totals in a report has to be coded in the report itself, not in the query upon which the report is based. Now let's move on to the next lesson, where we create our first report and then encode these requirements in it as well.